Hello everybody and welcome back to Platypus Presents the Natural History of Fauna of Maria. Today's episode will be Interlude 1. When I first started this natural history series, I was always hoping to spark creative discussions and just, crazy theorizing among fellow biologists, xeno, exo, otherwise, or amateur even. And I think that my series has really started to do that, which I'm very happy with. However, in light of that, many people have brought some very interesting comments and ideas to my attention. So, what I'm going to do is summarize the ones that I find most interesting, most provoking, in video format, giving of course proper credits to everyone who deserves them. I'll start with my first video, which was simply on the generalities of the life on Maria, including things like bilateral symmetry and the essentially fluke occurrence of 6 appendages versus 4. On that video, a viewer Mikey or MyKY992 reminded me that bilateral symmetry is indeed advantageous to movement as well as being beneficial for cephalization or encephalization, which is essentially the concentration of sensory organs and nervous systems to the anterior portion of the body. Now, the combination of sensory organs and movement being primarily in one direction actually opens up a large number of ecological niches which otherwise might not be optimally exploited in more radially symmetrical organisms, such as sea stars and sea urchins. Indeed, if we look back to the earliest fossil records, which is admittedly sparse, we do see a significant increase in the number of ecological niches being filled with the onset of bilateral symmetry in the group of organisms known as the Bilineata. So, Mikey992, you raise a great point. And it started to make me think, maybe if we do ever find life on an alien planet, it's maybe not totally unreasonable to think that it would be bilaterally symmetrical. With regards to my fire bear video, Mouse raised 2 alternate explanations for the positions of the fire bear's nostrils. I had proposed that the position of the nostrils on top of the head allows access to fresh oxygen while the bear is, spitting forth its flaming liquids. Mouse proposed that 1, the nostrils on top of the head may be some sort of inherited characteristic from the organism's most recent ancestors. Now, according to my classification, I have the fire bears as sister to the merryhare, which has, to the best of my knowledge, more normal-facing nostrils. And that group of animals is nowhere close to any kind of aquatic animals, which Sven Mouse had proposed. However, given the few number of animals that have been implemented in the game so far, and the dearth of any kind of fossil evidence, it's not totally unreasonable to think that the ancestors of the fire bear and perhaps the merryhare were in some ways semi-aquatic, and that could account for the position of the nostrils on top of the head, so that the animal could remain submerged while still having access to fresh air. Sven Mouse's second alternative explanation was, instead of the nostrils being on top of its head to give it fresh air while being underwater, it might have to do with the animal's prey. We know that the fire bears do live in semi-underground dens, and perhaps their primary prey does as well. So, having nostrils on top of the head might prevent the animal from getting dirt in its nose while foraging. This second explanation is actually particularly appealing. The use of a spray of fire might be very beneficial for hunting smaller underground animals that live in dens or burrows. These animals are likely too fast for the fire bear to catch outright. However, by spraying fire into the animal's holes, the fire bear might be able to flush out these small critters and perhaps even cook them in the process for an easy and tasty meal. One last point that Mouse raised was perhaps the existence or future discovery of other spitting animals closely related to the fire bear, such as the goop badger. I really loved the idea of the goop badger. After all, the bombardier beetle did not evolve its amazing searing acid defense out of thin air. All the members of closely related species already have the paired glands used by the bombardier beetle. However, instead of releasing searing hot acid, most beetles of the family simply release some sort of noxious chemicals. The bombardier beetle took these defenses one step further through the addition of chemicals that are in fact simple byproducts of its growth and metabolism. Including these kinds of evolutionary stepping stones would go a long way to making planet explorers a much more exciting place to explore. Alright, those are all the interesting comments that I came across so far. Hopefully I'll get this video edited and uploaded the same day as I'm going to be uploading the Mare Turtle episode, so look forward to that. And hopefully in the background while I'm speaking I'll have clipped a bunch of footage that I've recorded over the last several weeks for animals that you can look forward to learning all about in the next coming weeks. I apologize for being a little bit behind schedule this week. As I have said elsewhere in some comments, I did move this week, and I'm just now starting to get settled back in, got internet just the other day, so I'm looking forward to getting back on schedule and providing you guys with all of your natural history information and stimulating discussions and all that great stuff. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, leave me comments. Can hopefully stimulate some exciting discussions. Well, that's all for now. Take care.